Parents, stop doing SAT programs that look like this. For those of you guys who don't know me yet, my name is Jared Wynn. I'm the founder and director of Geometry Gurus SAT Prep. And at this point in my career, I've helped hundreds of students increase their SAT scores so that they can go to their dream colleges or qualify for scholarships. In every single video that I post, I give you guys one actionable step to increasing your teen's SAT score. With that being said, let's get straight into it, family. Stop doing SAT programs that look like this. The number one red flag that most parents should be aware of is if they're group only or if they're one-on-one only. Now, there are times for both, and we will talk about that in the duration of this video. However, let's talk about the group only aspect. At this point, it should be no secret that you should really only be doing groups if you are looking for a budget-friendly option, or if you're looking for something that just gives a quick 10,000 foot overview of everything. Because here's why. Once you have more than 15 students in a group, it is almost impossible to maintain that in terms of being able to diagnose everyone's weaknesses and giving them the results that they need and being personalized to them. That's the main issue with a lot of these group programs. They're not personalized whatsoever to what your teen needs. Everyone does the same material, everyone does the same concepts, everyone does the same homework, right? So what happens is that you're just a cog in the machine. They just throw you in, they spit you out, right? There's not enough personalization in there, right? You're treated like you're everybody else. So that's the number one big flag, a big red flag. Number two, one-on-one only. Now, with one-on-ones only, again, one-on-ones are meant to be hyper-focused, specialized. They're not meant to give you the 10,000 foot overview of everything because that's going to take way too long. Now, this, especially if you are really, really bad at the SAT, I'm talking about less than 1,200, you don't want to be in a one-on-one only program because you need help everywhere. You cannot specialize on everything. You can only specialize on a few things at one time. So this is time ineffective here. So the best way to do this is actually to combine a little bit of both, right? You use the group session. A good program will use the group sessions to do a 10,000 foot overview of all the concepts that they know they probably forgot or they just straight up don't understand or know. And then the one-on-ones come in to make sure that we're hyper specializing in the areas that there's an obvious weakness. So one issue is that not enough personalization. No, one-on-ones only is, hey, you're not going to have enough time to go over everything in a one-on-one setting because this is only meant for personalized support. Okay, so you need a good, delicate balance of both. All right. Number two, focuses on the wrong weaknesses, aka busy work. A lot of these SAT programs, like I mentioned, are not personalized enough to your specific weaknesses. So what they do is they give everyone the same homework. They give them the same work. They give them the same concepts they need to work on. Everyone is treated exactly the same. So what happens? Your teen will end up doing work that they're already good at or work that just simply will not move the needle. So every student should be having different homework based on their unique weaknesses, right? And it's not just the concepts they get wrong. That's where a lot of students and a lot of test prep centers, that's where they go wrong. They assume that just because you got the question incorrect, they think that's what you need to work on. That's not true, family. A lot of the times when you're doing these diagnostic exams, you're going to notice that when you go back, you actually understand how to do that concept. You just did not have the time to get there because you were spending so much time on the beginning problems that you didn't even have enough time to get to the ending problems. So essentially what happens is this. So many students, right, they turn 30-second problems into 90-second problems. And then what happens is they get it correct, so they think that they don't need to work on it. But then they get to the end of the exam and they run out of time, but they actually do understand it. They just didn't have the strategies or they just didn't have the time to actually finish the exam at that point. Okay, so again, they're working on the wrong weaknesses. But obviously there are going to be students that straight up don't know how to do a lot of the concepts. But most importantly, we got to understand the why. The homework and the work that you do outside of class needs to focus on the why. Why are you making mistakes instead of just what are you making mistakes on? There's a difference. And number three, too easy. A lot of these SAT programs, what they do is they give you guys way too easy tests or way too easy homework. And what that does is that gives you a false sense of security by the time you go into the next exam. You're like, oh, I got 100% on all my exams, right, in practice. But then they go into the exam and they're like, that's the hardest thing that they've ever seen before. So what happens is they leave the test feeling defeated and they don't want to try again because why? They spent so much time and most importantly, so much money on something that just straight up did not work for them. It needs to be hard enough to the point where it moves the needle. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, right? Because if you can master the hard version in practice, then imagine how easy the real thing is going to be. All right, guys, these are the big 3 major red flags you need to look for when you're looking at SAT programs. If you guys have any questions on this, or if you need help applying this unique learning method to your teen situation, feel free to give me a call, or you can send me a text, or you can email me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.